Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to do a quick video talking about some of the stuff that I've kind of overlooked on my first playthrough in the game. And these are some things that I'm gonna try to remember to course correct in the future. But you know how it is. Once your habits set in, sometimes it's kind of hard to break away from. So I just want to talk about these things to hopefully prevent other people from falling into this same kind of pitfall where you just kind of forget these little nuances and then they come back to bite you later. So I'm a mid-force here, and you can see I'm trying to drive into the Takeda right now, and there's a couple of things that have started to rear their ugly head, and I think the reason is because these things have largely been ignored. As I've been, like I said, playing through and learning everything, these things have kind of fallen through the cracks. And so the first thing, well, before I start, let me say, if you guys haven't subbed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment after the video. Let me know if there's any pitfalls you guys have had happen to you, right? So yeah, the first thing that I noticed right away that started to eat away at me is that now that I'm a mid-sized force, I really need to focus. And it's really important to use the militarization command, because militarization, for those who don't know, it not only does it buff the number of troops that you have once you choose a target, but it also increases the provisions that those castles have. And that's become a key thing. So I've been sending units as far away as here, all the way up here. And what I've started to notice is that, yes, I can get there, yes, I can fight the fight, but as the battles drag on, and I win battle after battle, you know, not to brag, but as I win battle after battle, I can't help but notice that my troops are starving, and that I have to send everybody back to base. So my campaigns feel like, if you guys haven't seen my Romance of the Three Kingdoms playthroughs, I feel like the Shu Kingdom. Okay, by the time I really start to get going and I really start to deal some damage, it's time for me to pack it up and go home. And part of that is because I keep forgetting militarization. So if you guys don't know, let me show you real quick. It's under military command, your castle roll here, and all you have to do is choose a target. Set a target. So you choose, I don't know, let's say we're gonna go here here next, I mean. And this tells you, now this is telling you the total number, your force versus their force, which, yeah, that is, you know, your eyes do not deceive you. The Takeda do have twice the number of troops as we do, and we're still charging into them. Anyway, it's gonna highlight everybody immediately. It's gonna say prepare all bases to attack here. But if you hit the square button, now you can choose which bases. So what I do usually is I'll go through and I'll unclick all these little guys, right? Unclick all these guys because it's a huge front, and so I don't know, maybe I have some defensive bases over here, maybe I have other plans, whatever. It does take a moment, and once I have half the map, I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure out a different way to do this, but for right now it's not that big of a deal to just unhighlight the ones that I don't want and then keep the ones highlighted. So what this does is it improves the ability, the fighting capability of the units that you have, that you do send out. Actually, I don't think it buffs soldiers. It doesn't buff soldiers, it improves the fighting ability. You get a flat bonus to your unit's attack and defense, I believe. But most importantly is it buffs the supplies so that you last longer, so these armies last longer. That's the main benefit. And I didn't see this benefit until about now. Until about now. Now that I'm fighting these battles and I'm calling troops from across my little kingdom here, I'm starting to notice that supplies are being exhausted. So, and I could have just avoided myself a huge headache just by using militarization more often. So that's the first thing. The first little trap there that's kind of snuck up on me, and it's really become like a problem. You know, up to this point, I've been getting by with just the policies, okay? Well, just provisions. And speaking of policies, that's the second thing that's really kind of hurt me. So, I've made a couple of videos talking about the policies. One of the things that's snuck up on me is that I've gotten away from getting policies. So as time's gone on, I've gotten the basic ones, but I failed to get some of those mid-tier policies that you need to get, I believe. So I'll show you guys what I have right now. You guys can see if anybody has any comments. You know, like I said, let me know if there's something here that you see that I don't have that I need to get. Just let me know. But the main ones that I got, obviously system reform, I maxed that out, and then I got bodyguard formation, just like I've been harping on in my other videos. And I got easy commerce and irrigation maintenance, but the thing that I failed to do was I didn't level these up. I took my eye off the ball there, and I should have just kept leveling these up. It's important to keep getting your crops up and getting your income up so that you know, it keeps improving steadily. Because easy commerce, improving how much each trading town gives you, that becomes much more beneficial the more cities that you have. So the more cities that you have, the more cities that you're going to have trading towns in. So it just makes sense to keep leveling it up, keep investing. Irrigation canal, it's the same thing. Keep investing in that. Standing army is another one. For some reason I had standing army at 1 star when I could have afforded it, I don't know, 10-15 castles ago. You know, small unit deployment, same thing. I just had it on 1 star. A lot of these I got them to 1 star, and then I just completely forgot about it. And one place where I really got hosed on, that I really have to plan for next time, and I urge everybody else to plan for this. Choose either muskets or cavalry and work towards it. Don't forget about it. If your force can house muskets, if you have the officers that would help you for that, or if you have officers that will help you get cavalry, take one or the other. They absolutely give you the edge in battle. I don't know if pretty soon I'm going to be releasing a video about the top 5 factions for beginners to use in this game. And cavalry and, of course, muskets play into that list big time on the military side of things. Being able to just get that extra shot with the muskets before you clash can be huge. You know, now that I've gotten it, I've started to see the power of just routing units instantly because you have musket power. And I don't even have that. You guys can see I only have 1 star. I'm just now starting to pay attention to it. I haven't even messed with cavalry yet, but I can imagine. I've seen the Takeda do damage with cavalry. Cavalry is also insane because of the mobility. It's a hit. It lets you do a charge, which is a hit, but the part that really hurts too is the mobility increase. Units will trigger cavalry charge when they're going to take outpost. So I've lost outposts to the Takeda just because they were that much faster than me. Because as soon as the battle starts, their units are zipping around on their horses, and while we're still trying to catch up, we're still trying to get into position, and they're outmaneuvering us, which I love, by the way. It's a really cool theme. You know, I like the little nuance there of it, of them having that extra mobility. So they probably don't punch as hard as muskets do, right? But what they lack in that, they gain because of the mobility. So just your policies, don't forget about your policies. Keep paying attention to them, keep developing them. Don't fall behind like I did, because I fell behind, and now I feel like I have this ground to make up, and it's annoying to have to stop and do that and to address it, right? When you should just be organically developing things as you go. The last thing is dealing with the Shogun, the Imperial Core. So, and this kind of ties into the policies. I made a video where I was talking about how you can send an envoy to improve relations with the court, and they give you a rank. Okay, yes, they give you a rank. And I kind of said, okay, that was kind of it, right? I just made it sound like a footnote. There is one other thing that's really important. That's the prestige gain. So you can see every time you petition for a post, you steadily gain prestige. I didn't realize how big of a deal this actually was, but it is a big deal. Because when you take a castle, you only get 5 prestige. When you get a post, you guys can see here, my next post is lower 7th class, that's 30 prestige. So that's worth 6 castles. Okay, so you can gain a lot of prestige just by having, so in the future, as soon as I can afford it, I'm just going to have somebody be an envoy to the court, and I'm just going to subtract that from my balance and try to have somebody always working towards getting the next post from the Imperial Court. So as soon as you can afford it, I would say send an envoy to the court and try to consistently be gaining titles from the court. Not only can you give them away to an officer, which actually does become more important, because as you start to get a force that's this big, loyalty does become a problem. Okay, earlier I wiped out the Oda and I just gained like 50 officers. And then you have, out of those 50 officers, you're going to have 10 of them that are really great. And maybe out of those 10 that are really great, 5 of them are going to have awful loyalty. Their loyalty is going to be, they're going to be ready to turn coat. Having a couple of titles in your pocket that you can just go to council, you know, and you can just say, okay, official post, click on that, give it to somebody, can be very, very useful. Just to pacify a new officer that you got, you know, say you get a Katsui Shibata, you get Hideyoshi, you get somebody that's a game changer for you. Treasures are actually more expensive. You know, if you want to buy a treasure, because you could give them a treasure, you know, that's another way around, right? And that's instant, but you have to have the capital to buy these things. These things are really pricey. 20 to 30k, that's way more expensive than just getting a title from the court. So my advice is pocket a couple of those titles as soon as you can afford it. Get a couple of them at least. If you have to stop because you can't afford it at some point, then just stop. But get a couple of them because you can get the prestige, which is going to help you to get these policies. That's why they kind of tie into the policy problem. Some of these policies I couldn't get, and I still can't get. You can see here, small unit deployment. I don't have enough prestige for it. I need 40 more prestige. Look at all this territory I have. Got all this territory. And I still can't get the 3rd star small unit deployment, and I need it. Like I said, I'm harping here about supply problems. This could really help right now, but I don't have the prestige. I could have, if I would have dealt with the court a long time ago, I would have already hit that. You know, I would have passed by that, blown right by it. It wouldn't be an issue right now. So it's actually pretty beneficial. You know, when I first started, I was like, why do I want this title? I'll just buy a treasure. And then lo and behold, treasures are insanely expensive. It's not that easy to just buy it. It's not like other games in the series. In Romance of the Three Kingdoms, you can just search and find 30 treasures and immediately reward a guy. You know, in other Nobunaga games, the treasures were a little bit cheaper. They weren't that much cheaper, and you did have to rely on a merchant to show up, but they were a little bit cheaper. In this game, the price, the entry point is so high. I think it's much better just to get a couple of these, and just every once in a while, you get an officer that you really want to stick around, boom, give him the title, instantly pacify him. And also, while you're doing that, you're building your prestige, and like I said, you won't hit this wall. You won't hit this wall where it's like, I need to get these policies, I need to keep upgrading my policies, but I don't have prestige. Like I said, that one was on me. I really thought that just by expanding, I can ignore the court for the most part, but well, I'm sure that's still possible. For me personally, I think you need that extra prestige so you can keep going forward and you don't have to stop, because you really don't. You don't want to, at this point in the stage in the game, I really don't want to have to stop just because of policies or having, you know, bonehead mistakes like this that can be fixed because all I have to do is militarize. You know, those are little things like that that can really set you back. You can see right now, I've pretty much smashed most of their front lines in this region. But my army's been turning around and going back. Why? Because of supplies. So that's a terrible reason to end the campaign. So yeah, those are the three things that have really hosed me. So, like I said, you guys keep those things in mind. And yeah, if you guys have any other things, any things that have stopped you, any things that you've stepped over, that have tripped you up, let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. I might do one for military mistakes. Yeah, I'll probably do one for the military mistakes as well, because I've had a few mistakes that have cost me some battles or cost me some troops, I want to say. So yeah, that'll be another video. So yeah, make sure you guys like, sub, and I'll see you guys on the next one.